freedom falling. Don't you hear me calling? Don't you wish you never let me in? I won't rest till I get what I get.
Strap in for a tour of Harvey Specter and Mike Ross doing what they do best in Suits. Will their sharp wits and slick moves keep them out of trouble this time around? Let's find out. In Season 2, Episode 10 of High Noon, Mike and Harvey have a comical and somewhat heartfelt exchange. Mike is complaining about having a dry mouth, which he humorously describes using the slang term cotton mouth after indulging in too many pretzels. Despite his discomfort, he can't help but joke about Harvey Specter's invincibility to such trivial issues, stating Harvey Specter doesn't get cotton mouth. But Harvey quickly confesses that the pretzels are indeed making him thirsty, a sentiment they both laugh about while repeating the line together. The conversation takes a lighthearted turn when Mike teases Harvey about becoming a father, imagining a mini version of Harvey complete with hair gel and pinstripe clothes, echoing Harvey's own assertive lines back to him. Harvey opens up about his own father, a beloved saxophone player who was blissfully unaware of his wife's infidelity. Harvey discovered his mother's betrayal at 16, but chose to keep it a secret, preserving his father's happiness at his own emotional expense. Their mood shifts as they recall the challenging work they've had, indirectly referencing a nemesis named Hardman. This stirs up a mischievous idea in Harvey, a prank played on their colleague Lewis. They debate the ethics of repeating such a prank, with Mike humorously mentioning his urgent need after drinking 3 Gatorades. Harvey decides against rehashing old pranks, opting for something original. He mysteriously mentions a can opener, a long-running inside joke between the two, leaving Mike curious. In Season 5, Episode 9 of Uninvited Guests, 2 negotiations unfold simultaneously, involving characters Mike, Tony, Harvey, and Jonathan. Tony Giannopoulos initially dismisses Mike, making it clear he isn't interested in what Mike is offering. However, Mike insists that Tony will want to hear him out this time. Meanwhile, Jonathan Sidwell is adamant about not wanting to do business with Harvey, but Harvey explains that Jonathan's decision isn't about forming a new partnership. It's about preventing Harvey from teaming up with Tony. Mike reveals to Tony that Harvey is pitching the same deal to Jonathan right now. Jonathan claims he doesn't care about Harvey's dealings, but Mike counters by suggesting Tony does care about the moves Jonathan makes. Jonathan accuses Mike of trying to play them against each other to drive up the price, a tactic Harvey proudly admits to. Frustrated, Jonathan tells Harvey he can leave, echoing what Tony likely believes Sidwell is telling Harvey on the other side. Mike tells Tony that one of them will be on the news tomorrow announcing a lucrative new deal, while the other will end up with nothing. He presses Tony, saying the first to agree will hold the upper hand forever. Harvey warns Tony that if he receives a text from Jonathan accepting the deal first, he'll walk out, leaving Tony with nothing. Caught in a bind and admiring Harvey's audacious strategy, both Tony and Jonathan simultaneously decide to agree to the deal, each declaring, "I'm in." In Season 2, Episode 6, titled All In, a dynamic exchange occurs between Harvey and Mike. As Harvey knocks on Mike's door, he's surprised to find Mike watching Different Strokes, a show about orphans which Mike finds touching. Harvey, ever the critic, remarks about the condition of Mike's apartment, suggesting it might be condemned. Mike, slightly annoyed, asks if Harvey's visit is just to criticize his living situation. Harvey's attention quickly shifts, noting a sentimental item in Mike's apartment, which Mike asks to be left alone due to its sentimental value. It was a gift from his grandmother. Harvey, brushing past the small talk, instructs Mike to put on a tuxedo as they need to handle a situation urgently. Confused, Mike asks why a tuxedo is necessary, and Harvey reveals they're heading to Atlantic City. During their drive, Mike, wearing a borrowed tux from Harvey, questions why they couldn't just send the contracts over instead of driving all the way. Harvey simply refuses to discuss it further. Mike senses Harvey's irritation might be linked to personal issues regarding Donna, guessing that Harvey sees the trip as a chance to unwind with a wingman. Upon arrival, Mike adjusts his bow tie, prompting Harvey to quip that they're not in Kansas anymore, indicating they're stepping into a challenging environment. Inside the casino, Harvey is greeted and informed by a waitress that Mr. Hoyt, whom they were supposed to meet, is waiting in the poker room. Despite assurances from the floor manager that Mr. Hoyt would be kept away from gambling, it appears there's a miscommunication. Mike, picking up on the situation, realizes Mr. Hoyt has a gambling and drinking problem, questioning Harvey's decision to meet him in such an environment. Harvey admits he's concerned about Mr. Hoyt, who promises to stay out of trouble, emphasizing that he's been clean for 5 years. As they find Mr. Hoyt at a high-stakes table, the tension escalates. Mr. Hoyt is gambling with large sums, and despite a risky bet with a full house against a straight, he ends up losing $3 million. The situation deteriorates when it's revealed that the loss means more than just money. Mr. Hoyt has gambled away his company. In Season 7, Episode 14, titled Ruling the Goalie, Harvey is surprised to see Mike so early, especially with a particular look on his face that suggests he needs a favor. When Harvey presses him, Mike reveals that Judge Sandra Rawls, the judge who handled his fraud case, is in a predicament. She's been accused of unfairly overturning a verdict to benefit a company in which she has an interest. Harvey, however, is cautious. He tells Mike that they're close to signing a significant client whose case might end up in front of Judge Sandra Rawls. Representing the judge could jeopardize this new relationship. Despite Mike's assurance that he doesn't want this to escalate like a previous difficult case, he mentions they've been on the right side of the law recently and suggests this could be another opportunity to do good. Harvey is initially hesitant, considering the personal and professional risks. However, Mike tries to lighten the mood by suggesting they could make this an enjoyable venture together, especially since Harvey had recently faced personal issues. At a brief meeting during a 15-minute recess, they present an offer to Judge Sandra Rawls. They want her to rescue herself from any cases handled by their opposing law firm for the next 3 years. The judge is outraged, viewing their proposal as blackmail and unethical. She argues that agreeing to their terms would tarnish her reputation as much as the accusation itself. Harvey explains that their offer is meant to prevent any damage to her reputation by avoiding the appearance of impropriety. However, the judge insists on defending her integrity rather than what she sees as an easy but unethical out. In Season 5, Episode 16, titled 25th Hour, Mike confronts Harvey with an unexpected request. He wants Harvey to be his best man at his upcoming wedding with Rachel. Harvey is shocked, especially since Mike is on the verge of going to prison. Mike insists, but Harvey agrees only on the condition that they still have a chance to contact Gibbs, which Mike refuses. Harvey tries to make Mike understand the gravity of the situation and his responsibility for it, while Mike refuses to let Harvey sacrifice himself for a crime that Mike committed. During their heated conversation, Harvey reveals a shocking piece of information. He had lied about the guilty verdict. It was actually not guilty. Mike is in disbelief, questioning why Harvey would deceive him. Harvey explains that he hid the truth to protect Mike from the pain it would cause. Their discussion escalates as Harvey criticizes Mike's decision to marry as a way to escape his reality. Harvey, frustrated and trying to provoke a reaction, urges Mike to hit him, believing it would help Mike confront his feelings of weakness and vulnerability, as Gloria Danner had asked Harvey to prepare Mike for prison. Despite Harvey's goading, Mike initially refuses, but the tension becomes too much when Harvey insinuates that someone Mike knows might betray him while he's in prison. Overwhelmed with emotion, Mike strikes Harvey. Harvey apologizes for disclosing the truth about the verdict, understanding it was too much for Mike to handle all at once. Harvey reassures him, finding some solace in seeing that Mike can stand up for himself. From courtroom victories to personal revelations, Harvey and Mike never fail to impress. So what's your favorite moment from their adventures? Drop a comment below with your thoughts, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.